Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to share with you my 2025 goals. It's the beginning of the year. It's always nice to kind of do a reset, a refresh, whatever you want to call it. And I know for a lot of people, this is a time of making resolutions. I don't know why, but I prefer to kind of attack it in the form of goals because I feel like resolutions is restricting. I do not know why. That makes no sense, but I prefer to say my goals for 2025 rather than I'm making a resolution that I won't do this. Again, it just feels kind of like it's a mindset switch, right? It's coming at it in a more positive light. And I feel like if you're more positive about it rather than negative, you're more likely to attain those goals or resolutions, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to share with you, I have annual goals, I have weekly goals. So things that I want to do weekly and create weekly habits from. And that are personal, professional, etc. And then I also have some homeschool goals that I'm going to share with y'all. If you're new to my channel, I am a homeschooling mama to a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, so kindergarten and second grade. This is our second year homeschooling. We're halfway through and things are going swimmingly and just amazing, and we're loving it and no end in sight to us homeschooling. But I definitely do realize that it's a large part of my life, so there needs to be some goal setting there as well. So to start off, I have my goals written in my homeschool planner on a Post-it note, and I'm just going to move this from one month to the next month as I continue through the year. I might have to rewrite it because the sticky on it will probably get unsticky. But to start, so annual goals. I think start big, go macro to micro. So my biggest goal is to hit 7,500 subscribers on YouTube by the end of 2025. My goal for last year was 5,000 for 2024, and I was like 200 and change away from my goal. Now, I don't feel like that's a failure because I felt like that was a pretty large stretch goal because I think I started the year with sub 2,000. And I had been off YouTube for a couple of years, so I was starting from scratch. I'm so sorry I cracked my knuckles, y'all. It's a bad habit. But I feel like, okay, if I can make it from under 2 to almost 5,000, which again, even though you have a goal, even if you don't make it, that's okay because it's a motivator. It pushes you to do better than you were before, right? So, if I can make it from just under 2 to almost 5, I feel like I can make it from 5,000 to 7,500. I feel like that's a good goal. It's a bit of a stretch, but it's still an attainable goal that I think I can handle. Next, for my own personal enlightenment and knowledge, I want to read at least 24 books this year. That includes, and I'm allowing audiobooks because since I am a homeschool mom and a stay-at-home mom and I manage our house, I don't always have all the time in the world to sit down and read. And half the time after the girls go to bed, I'm in bed and I'm trying to read, I fall asleep. So I'm realizing I think in order to attain this goal, I'm going to have to lean into using audiobooks for when I'm vacuuming, folding laundry, cooking, things like that. I'm not a big audiobook person, so this is going to be new to me. So we'll see how I fare with that. But if you watched my previous video on my Mother Academia, I'll link to that video up here. I shared with you quite a few of the books that I'm trying to attack this first half of this year that'll help me get to that 24 book. I'm not going to include any pre-reading of homeschool books for my kiddos for next year. In that, I want these to be books that are for me. So 24 might seem like a small goal to some of you. It might seem like a big goal, but for me, that's pretty hefty. Even though I used to read so much before, that was before homeschooling, where I read so much to my kids. So I know that 24 books for me is going to be a stretch, but I really want to try and do that because I really want to work on myself because there's so much that I want to read and learn about that I'm realizing, like doing homeschool, it's motivated me because I'm like, this is so much fun learning with them, but there's other topics I want to learn about. So 24 books, so 2 books per month. Can I do it? Let's see. Next up, so if you've heard of the 1,000 Hours Outside Challenge, I actually have the app on my phone. We tried to attempt it last year, and I think we actually spent a good amount of time outside. However, I never tracked it on my stupid app, and I don't know why, because I feel like we probably would have gotten like I would have been impressed with our numbers of hours outside that we did. So this year I actually want to focus on tracking it, like be intentional, be like, hey, we're outside. Make sure, even if I don't hit the button on it to say start tracking, hey, we went out at 1 and we came in at 2. So I'll put an hour in manually into the app. I really just want to see how many hours we spend outside. And our goal is not 1,000. I think that's an average of 3 hours a day. I just don't know if we can make it. I don't know, but I feel like setting maybe a more attainable goal for us is 750 hours. So that's my goal for next year, 750 hours outside. Another goal that I have for myself for the year, which would help trying to attain the 750 hours outside, is getting under 100 on my golf score for 18 holes. So we play golf. We're a big golf family all together. We belong to a local country club. And I told myself, oh, I'm going to work really hard last year. I didn't get out to the course as much as I wanted to. There was a whole lot going on. It was a transition year just with homeschooling and all that stuff. So, and that's totally okay. But this year, I'm going to do it. I want to get that score under 100. And to some of y'all who play golf, you're probably like, ew, you're over 100. We got to start somewhere, okay? So that's my goal, break 100. So moving into homeschool goals, I just feel like this is a good segue. I'll talk about weekly goals in a second. But one of our homeschool goals for at least the rest of this school year, and definitely for the next school year, will be playing golf once a week. It's going to be kind of like our PE. I got the girls out onto the course. They made it through 7 holes. It was a little chilly. It was like 53 out. So and I think they did really, really well. They weren't hitting from the tee box. They were chipping onto the green or putting. I was letting them drop on when I teed off and got close to the green. I let them start playing, just getting them used to being out there and the etiquette and how to play and the rules, but building that confidence of being out on the golf course, but also it's good time outside. We see so much nature out there. Our golf course is beautiful. There's deer, there's all sorts of amazing things. And then it will help heavily contribute to that goal of being outdoors for 750 hours for the entire year for 2025. So playing golf once a week, that's one of our homeschool goals. The other is we are going to add in piano starting next week when we go back to school. The girls got a really nice Yamaha weighted keys keyboard from my dad for their Christmas gift. And they are so excited. They've been actually asking, can we start piano lessons? I was like, well, we've got to first get a piano. So we got to figure that out first. So we are going to try out Hoffman Academy. It's an online piano course. It's got a free version, but I think it also has a paid version that has more to it. We're going to try that out first. And then if that goes really well, then my next door neighbors who also homeschool have a piano teacher they use, and I'll probably then start paying for lessons if they get like really into it. I first want to try out the free one first. I used to play piano when I was younger, so I actually think I might play a little bit on there too and kind of reintroduce myself to the keyboard. But my goal is for us to do 2 lessons per week, ideally 3, but with all the other stuff I'm adding in, we're going to do 2. And I feel like that'll be a good introduction for them to kind of get used to it and kind of, get the flow going. But then also they can practice on their own outside of those 2 lessons they do with me. And another thing we're adding, which isn't a goal, but just I think probably something to share. We didn't do nature study really. We did a few nature walks, but we didn't have an intentional nature study for the first half of this year. We just had so much on our plate that I was like, let me try what we have. And then the second half of the year, maybe we'll add in some kind of nature. So what we're going to be adding in is actually Blossom and Roots book seeds from their level 1 program. We did level 1 last year, but we didn't get a chance to do any of the book seeds. If you're not familiar with them, they are 2-week unit studies on a specific science topic. So level 1 was all earth science. So the girls loved that last year. So I think they'll really enjoy a lot of these book seeds that we're going to do. My goal is to get 3 book seeds done through the last second half of this school year by the end of May. I want to get 3 book seeds done. I feel like we should be able to do that. Preferably, I'd love to get all 6 done from the first level so that next year we can do level 2 book seeds. But I will be happy with getting 3 done. All right, next, moving into my final category of goals is our weekly goals. Well, my weekly goals, I guess. So first off, if you don't know, I'm actually a certified personal trainer and I have my nutritionist certification. I do work with health coaching clients one-on-one, but really leaning into my own health and wellness. I have a few goals that I want to try and maintain, and I do these things, but I don't do them consistently. So for me, I want to get consistent with these things. One is working out at minimum 5 times a week. And I don't mean like going for a walk. I mean like doing a true workout. And a walk can count, but I'm only going to count it if it's focused, if I'm like walking a lot, not like just walking around my living room, which sometimes I do to get my steps, which is still good for you. You're moving, that's all that matters. But I really I want to do 5 dedicated workouts a week at minimum. Now, I know there's going to be a week or 2 here and there where I get sick or schedule gets crazy. That's fine. But I just want to really focus on trying to be more consistent. Next up is hitting 10,000 steps per day on average. And I say average because, there's so many days where I'm like 9,500, but I am so tired and I'm like looking at my bed going, do I want to walk around my downstairs to get those extra 500, or do I want to go to bed? I'm a normal person and my body says sleep, so I go to sleep. So I say average, meaning if I average 10,000 steps per day over the week. So I might have, my dog just pushed the door open and came in here. I might have a day where I do 9,000, but then the next day I might do 11,000. That averages to 10. So my ideal would be to have that, Sunday to Sunday, average 10,000 steps on a daily basis. Next, I want to stay consistent with YouTube. My goal is going to be 1 video posted per week, preferably on Saturdays. I might have an additional bonus video that pops up on a Tuesday here and there, but my goal is always to at least get that 1 video up on Saturday for y'all. During the summer, I would like to bump that up to 2. So summer will be June and July. I know it's not a big summer, but that's all I got for y'all. If I can figure out how to do more than that, I will, but that's what I want to commit to, at least for you guys. Next, talking about averaging things out, I want to average 7.5 hours of sleep every night. Sleep is the most important thing to us, especially as we start to get older, especially as females, for our hormone balance and weight loss and just overall attitudes, y'all. But oftentimes it's, I gotta, go do this. I gotta fold laundry because the kids are finally down. Oh my gosh, I finally have free time to myself because the kids are asleep. My husband's gone off to do something. And then I doom scroll on social media. And I'm like, why did I do that to myself? Or why did I stay up and binge watch 3 episodes of Grey's Anatomy? So I want to average out 7.5 hours of sleep every night because I know it's important for me. It's important for my health, my mindset, my energy level, everything. Along with that, one of my goals is no social media after 5 p.m. Y'all, it's gonna be tough because that is the time when I have a lot of more free time and I can check social media. I just want to limit it for my own mental sanity because doom scrolling will suck your life away. And this is another reason why I don't want to get my kids screens, but then I'm sitting here with a phone in my hand at 8 o'clock at night and all of a sudden I look up and it's 11 p.m. and I've wasted 3 hours of my life. Okay, that might be a little dramatic, but probably not far off. I don't want to do that anymore. I could be doing so many more productive things, to include sleeping, to include reading, to working on a project, because I crochet, I like to draw, I like to do things for myself. So social media is going away. Not going away, but I'm not going to look at it after 5. I honestly contemplated removing the apps from my phone and just accessing it on my desktop, on my laptop, because that would reduce my usage so much, because it's not just me looking at it. It's me going to let's say I'm going to my email app, and then all of a sudden I see I have a notification because somebody posted something or liked something or blah, blah, blah. And then I click into the app and then I've gotten distracted from the initial thing I was trying to do. Do you see where I'm going here? So I I'm really struggling with this, but I may remove apps from my phone. I will update you guys at a later date on my decision with that. And y'all, that's it. I know I said that's it. That's a lot of goals. But a lot of the goals intertwine with each other. Did you notice that? Like a lot of the things, like they work towards the same thing. And so I think even though it seems like it was a lot, it's a lot of things that if I do this, this will impact this and this will impact that goal, etc. So they'll work together to achieve all the goals, I guess is the best way to explain it. But I feel like 2024 was kind of a rough year. I mean, we have so much to be thankful for. We had such a good year in some capacities, but then some terrible things happened. We dealt with a lot of personal turmoil. I had a cousin who passed away. I had to put my dog down. A lot of things happened. But 2025 is a new year, and I feel like it's going to be a really wonderful year. I have a really positive feeling about it. And maybe that's just because I have a different attitude or mindset change about it. I don't know. It's the placebo effect, but I just feel like it's going to be an awesome year. So I would love to hear what y'all's goals are. If you guys have any recommendations on any other piano courses online, definitely leave those down below. If you have any questions about anything I mentioned, definitely that in the comments. And if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.